Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm here with Dave. We're talking about how to become an AutoCAD power user. Dave, I've heard you refer to the shrinking pie syndrome when it comes to AutoCAD. Can you describe what you mean by that?
Well, it's a delicate subject. Basically, if you think about a hammer, it bangs nails really well. And would you really care if somebody came out with Hammer 2011 or 2012? That isn't a reflection on the software. It just means that the hammer does what it does really well. It's kind of plateaued in its functionality, and this happens with software features as well. Sometimes we add new things, and that doesn't mean that everybody's going to benefit by it. And how do you get around that? This is a real challenge for all of us. And one of the responses that a power user comes at this question with is, maybe I ought to find out what I paid for. Maybe I ought to maximize my investment. And a great way to do that is to go back to the command reference, just like a basic alphabet, and start finding out what all the A's, all the B's, all the system variables do. And make an informed decision. There's an awful lot of stuff in there that people have never invested their time and energy in, and here they may be doing something the way they did 4 or 5 releases ago and don't understand why this new feature really is.
So they're just still on this little piece of the pie, and the pie just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, and if I typically ask somebody, well, heck, for example, back in the day when Paperspace first came out, there were a lot of people that did not understand how powerful that really was, and they had to go really deeper than, say, a typical p-edit, multiple p-edit type command, right? Not that it wasn't powerful, but it took a lot more momentum, changing of workflow processes, right? It's a lot harder to do that stuff. And so the power user isn't intimidated by that. They're going to see that again as a challenge, an opportunity for greater productivity and so forth. And they're going to make that investment to figure out how to implement those kinds of commands and feature sets, right? More importantly, they're going to walk down every one of those commands and system variables and say, okay, now that I know what this is, I can now say it doesn't apply to us. This can't help me. It's a hammer. But at least I know that now. I'm making an informed decision, or they might stumble on something that's really powerful. Another great example of this is the Sheet Set Manager, something you know a tremendous amount about. It's a fantastic feature. It's incredibly powerful. But boy, it does take a lot more energy and understanding to really implement that feature set.
To its fullest, yeah.
Exactly. And when something isn't working right, you're scratching your head a little bit more to trying to find out why that sucker isn't working the way you thought it should, right? No reflection on the feature set, but boy, it is a tougher challenge, doesn't it?
To take full advantage of that functionality, you need to really understand and troubleshoot, and there's
exactly.
fields involved, and
right.
Templates,
There's a lot there,
involved,
Yeah. And so if we actually take the time to learn all of the program, we actually stand to benefit by more of the program. I like to tell people, you don't want to drive your Lamborghini like a tricycle, okay? And that's the reality. We have an amazing product in front of us, but we're exploiting a very small piece of it. And as the program gets bigger and more powerful, if you're not staying up to speed with that, then your piece of the pie that's of value is shrinking. This isn't a reflection on the software, it's a reflection on your ability to exploit it because you're not keeping up.
You're not maximizing your investment.
Exactly. So we have the responsibility to keep expanding that percentage of the pie to make sure that we are maximizing our investment in that software.
And it's all about learning.
Absolutely.
Learning.
Yeah, and the accountability is on us. It's not about, oh, this program is getting too hefty and weighty. It's, there's a reason for it. There's a lot of intelligence and creativity that went into the reason for that feature set. We have to figure out, why is this important now, and how can this lend itself to what we're doing?
Make us more productive.
Absolutely.
All right, great advice. Thanks.